Ready, dog? Okay.
Wait, I'm not ready. Oh, you're so strong. That's my favorite part. That's why I like that song. Because the rest of it is like
so
ridiculous. It's so funny. Okay, I'm done.
Meet Sam, guys. Person who never lets me get away with anything ever.
I love you. It's not happening. Is it on? What is
Yeah,
it?
it's on.
Oh shit.
This is all cute and I'm using it. Okay. Okay, literally top of the head to middle boob. Just like
where are
that.
my nipples? It's fine.
Not in there.
Well, I don't know where they are anyway. My name is Samantha Kerr.
Cool. And how old are you?
I'm 30.
So tell me, who are you on a soul level?
Jesus, out the gate?
Yes,
Woo,
that is literally
girl.
the first question.
Who are you on a soul level?
Yes, minus your job and the things you have, and like, who are you without any worldly things?
I don't have very many worldly things, so there's that. I don't know. I'm a product of many unknown ancestors that were brought here. Only God knows how long ago. Like flesh and bones, I am made up of them, and I am also made up of Midwestern immigrants that came here. I don't know when either. My soul currently is full of light and love and gratitude and made up of those things. And also a bit of rage. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. So what life events or major happenings in the world, or the things that have happened to you, have influenced who you are today, or your ways of thinking?
Everything that's happened from conception to this point in time has affected me in some way, shape, or form. I'm adopted. I'm a transracial adoptee, and so literally from conception to the choice that my mom made to put me up for adoption to being picked up by two very delightful white people that didn't have any knowledge about African American culture in any way, shape, or form, and being raised in a loving and supportive home to the best of their ability on a mountain that had 264 people on it, with the majority of them being white, shapes everything that I am today. Feeling like I was not enough, and having this like innate wound, like adoption and like being taken from, or not taken, but like being removed from your family of origin leaves a giant gaping wound. And so I spent a really long time trying to fill that wound, and to try to make it better. And that led me to a lot of different things, and led me to alcoholism was the one that worked the longest. And alcoholism led me to sobriety, which has been the most delightful thing and the most influential part of my life currently. It gave me a framework for which to see the world, and whenever I was given that framework, I was allowed to see the rest of the parts of myself. Like my blackness and my current femininity, and like it allows me to look at my sexuality and my gender and all of these things in a different way.
So there are 3 categories. There's love, sex, and relationships, society, culture, and politics, and spirituality and religion. So out of those 3 categories, which category means the most and which one means the least?
Okay, so I don't like the way that the categories are put together. So
Wow. So
I will
let's
tell
say
you.
that.
Okay, those seem like completely different things, and spirituality and religion are irritatingly, like are completely separate things, and I am offended that they're in the same category. I spend so much time defending spirituality, which is completely unnecessary because it speaks on its own, but because I am a human with my own ego and shit, I spend a lot of time defending spirituality as opposed to religion on a regular basis. So I'm going to break them all up into their own separate thing, and spirituality is the first one because it's the thing that sustains my life. It is the thing that gives me power to do any of the things that I do on a daily basis. As a fucking black woman in America, there's absolutely no way that I would be able to walk this earth, be sober, and not commit homicide for spirituality. Also, I'm an empath. Like I'm super intuitive and have these like super empathic ways, and I spent a really long time trying to deny that, and I've decided to consciously make a decision to broaden that, and that looks like me delving into my spirituality and getting more in touch with the divine that's within me. So that would be my number one. I don't even remember what the other ones are. So, politics is last because I can't. Like, I can't. I don't want to. I don't think anybody should. I think we need to burn the system down to begin with. And because the system isn't even... The system isn't made for me, and it never was. It's never been made with black women in mind, black people in mind, black women in mind, people of color in mind, people with disabilities in mind. Like, I have all of these things, and it's never been made for me. And neither is culture. Like, culture, I mean, like, the overculture currently is that whole white culture system that I don't play into. Obviously, I spent a really long time trying to fit into the boxes that were fed to me through media in the spaces that I lived, being a predominantly white culture. And it turns out that there's no winning in that scenario because it's never been made for me, and I'm not supposed to fit into it, which is why I feel so free today, because I get to do what I want. So, I mean, like, in one sense, those two things are the last thing, and then in another sense, they're like number two, because I actively defy the overculture and the mainstream stuff on a regular basis because I am free to be and express myself in whatever way I want to. But that's all, once again, like, based on spirituality. And then the third one,
love, sex, and relationships.
Fuck all of them. I mean, like,
True.
You know, sex is a really beautiful thing that I cannot wait to have again with somebody that I love and cherish. So I'm excited for that, but it's not today. That's for damn sure. Snaps all around, bitches!
Okay, so now is the time I want you to make something. Okay, so since you are making your own masterpiece, tell me, what color do you feel represents your mood right now?
Blue! I don't know why.
Okay. What makes you the most upset? Like, what is one of your pet peeves? Or multiples, because
What makes me the most upset, or what's my biggest peeve? What
Both.
makes me the most upset? White men that think that they know better than I do whenever I'm the expert on the subject. And I'm only the expert on a few subjects, and even then I could still learn. But there are multiple times when I'm in a room and I know more than a white man who tries to interject, shut me down, and gaslight me. So that is one of the things that pisses me off the most. Pet peeves, losing shit. I lose shit a lot, so that's my own personal pet peeve is... Or when people move my stuff because I know exactly where it is, and then they move it and I can't find it. That is annoying as fuck.
what excites you more than anything?
Ritual.
Okay. Explain that for people who may not know what that is or how that, you know.
I'm a part of a community in which we share public rituals, and that usually involves storytelling, sometimes light trance work, and always energy raising. And that's one of the most exciting things that I do in a group.
How did you get into ritual work, or how were you introduced to, you know?
I knew some witches in another community that I was in. I hated them, and I judged them because I thought that they were just a bunch of white women doing crazy stuff. And then, slowly but surely, I realized that they were white women involved in a practice that enlarged their spiritual life and also involved social justice, where they taught people new things and learned new things on a regular basis. And I realized that I wanted to be a part of something like that, especially if magic was involved.
Make a face that explains you. Like, if you were an expression, what would you be? These are hard, aren't they? So challenging.
Well, the first thing that I want to do is, like, not the answer that I want to do. You know what I mean? The first thing that I think is... and that's, like, not... I want to be something cute. But...
Right. At the same time.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite song right now?
Money.
Who's the artist?
Cardi B.
Why?
Because it talks about money, and money is not emotional.
Facts.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song ever? And I know that's hard. So if you can't do ever, then, you know, name some artists that you, like, love, like, all time.
Favorite album, Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, is number one. Second one is Third Eye Blind, self-titled. Next one is Future Islands, singles. And one of my favorite songs is, what is it called? It's a Led Zeppelin song. And it's not Baby, I'm Gonna Leave You, but it's on that album. I don't remember what it's called.
On the Rumors album, Fleetwood Mac, what's your favorite song on that album? Or do you just love the whole album?
I like the entire album, including the song Oh Daddy.
Sing a verse from Oh Daddy. Do it.
My favorite part of Oh Daddy is, oh, you're so strong. Right, that's why I like that song. Because the rest of it is, like, so ridiculous. It's so funny. Oh my gosh.
So as you know, or maybe don't know, I'm doing this because I want everybody to connect and, like, realize that they're not alone.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. What advice do you have for our generation?
Okay, so this is... So there was this period of time where I was, like, smoking blunts all day, every day. I was driving my fucking Jeep, which was my favorite car. My Jeep Grand Cherokee. Oh my god. It was, like, teal. I fucking lived out that bitch. Anyway, so I was, like, smoking blunts, driving. I know that's, like, not great, but I was smoking blunts and driving the whole time. I was hanging out with this one kid, and we were listening to Kid Cudi and the song Pursuit of Happiness.
Love that song.
Yes. It was a song that we were singing, like, over and over and over again. This kid was like, Kid Cudi is the voice of our generation.
Basically.
And I was like, blah, that's fucking lame. Like, you think you're so profound. And in retrospect, I'm thinking about it, and, like, that whole song, like, literally, he's talking about doing all these drugs and, like, having the pursuit of happiness. And I know for me and a lot of people that I know, like, not everybody I know seeks happiness out of drugs, but a lot of people I know sought a lot of happiness out of drugs, and or, like, not just their happiness but their identity and their soul. So that song is, like, when in retrospect him saying that, like, that really was the song, like, at that point in time was the song for my generation. And on the new album, in which he who must not be named because he's been consumed by the Kardashians, made this album, and the song is called Reborn, and it's basically like a complete rebuttal. It's like a rebuttal to Pursuit of Happiness, in which he's talking about how he's now like, he's found the happiness that he's seeking, or that he had sought. And so I feel like our generation has the ability to be, like, I don't typically like binaries and like one thing or the other thing, but I feel like that kind of like sums it up, right? It's either like, I know a lot of people that are seeking for that in really destructive ways, ways that don't start out that destructive and then just turn into these like incredibly life-consuming ways, and then people that have been reborn from that kind of space, you know what I mean? And sometimes that looks like through like drug and alcohol rehabilitation, sometimes it looks like sex rehabilitation, sometimes it's just like, instead of spending all of their money on purses, they decided to start saving their money, you know what I mean? Like, it looks different for everyone, but that, like, those songs, I don't know if that answered the question. I forgot what the question was.
I think the question was, what does our generation, what is your advice to our generation?
Listen to Pursuit of Happiness, and then listen to Reborn, and figure out which one you are and which one you want to be, and then move towards the one that you want to be.
I mean, damn, Sam.
Damn.
Slam on. So happy you were my first person. But for real, you were open. That's what I'm looking for.
Open and honest.
This is Sam, guys. She's in the flesh.
This is Sam in the flesh. Bitches. I really like the word bitch.